another season contender at Vicarage Road as Blackburn Rovers pull off a cheeky away win against Watford. How do they do it? We'll tell you all about it. Game and another match review. Looking back at Blackburn Rovers' away day victory against Watford, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new, where you've been, smash your subscribe and back to all things Rovers related, championship related, world football related. We got it all here, boys, under one Rooski. That's right, Rovers flexing the muscles on the road here with a cheeky, albeit plucky, away day win, of course, but the headline, a stealer, it is, of course, Ryan Hedges with the world-class wonder goal. And if you haven't seen it, bloody make sure you do so. It's an absolute peach of a goal. We'll talk about it in a second, of course. Big shout out to my VIPs. They are the patrons, of course. You know who you are. But anyway, let's jump in the vortex and tell you all about it. As, of course, Rovers coming out on top with a 1-0 win as well. Let me just gear up here, of course, and talk all about the game itself. From, of course, the get-go, 1-0 win, it kind of tells you just a little bit about the game. Of course, Rovers were not really in the races, to be fair. I think Watford were a little bit hard done by going away with absolutely nothing. As you can see from the stats there, 65% possession compared to Rovers' 35. Having heard the words of wisdom coming out of JDT's mouth, it was a strategic affair for Rovers coming to a place like this. All eyes on this game with the expectation to be second best. That was the case for Rovers. We were expecting to be the second best. We were the second best. And considering when you look at the lineups, you'll see just what we're talking about. So taking the chances when we got them. And my, oh my, did we ever do that. Ryan Hedges with the one and only goal. An absolute worldie. You've got to see it. You really have got to see it. Breakaway opportunity down the right-hand side. Ends up kind of one-on-one with the keeper, or a scenario where he's up against the keeper. And he does this worldly little flick that we all do it. We all do it on the school ground. We all do it in your back garden. You try to just flick it over the keeper. And he did just that. He flicked it over. And a couple, 1, 2, 3 keepy uppies. And then the world's tightest angle. Even the angle of the dangle, Tiger Woods couldn't have squeezed this sucker in from way out there. Of course, what a banger. What a goal. And what a way to win this game. It was a goal worthy of winning the game. Not only a goal winning game, but a goal worthy of stealing the 3 points and turning our season back on track. Of course, I had a quick chat with Jacob after the game. We talked about flip-flopping the results around, between Hull and Watford. Between the two, we would expect to at least win one of them, or at least get 3 points at the very minimum. So we're bouncing back from the defeat against Hull. At the first time I'm asking, on the road here, difficult place to go, and getting 3 points. When realistically, when you look at the stats on the paper, we were very fortunate to do just that. 24 shots at Watford. Very, very lucky. We were lucky to get away with it, but unfortunately, or unlucky, Watford were. Many players had many chances, but Rovers took the biscuit and ran with it. Let's take a look at the lineups then. Of course, as you can see, pretty even across the rest of the park here. But yes, the lineups though, if you look at it, of course, we had Batman between the sticks, that's Bachman. We had Hurt at the back there. We got Porteous, Seema operating as a left back, Ryan Hedges, the youngster, at right back, then Kayambe. We got Kone, of course, £10 million rated player. Very, very, look at the values of some of these guys. Basharu coming at you as well in midfield. We got Matthias Martin, £7 million Brazilian. We got Asparia, 19-year-old right wing, and then Bayo down the middle. But they were goalless today, and of course not great for Valerian Ishmael. We also saw the likes of coming at you and Gaka coming on there on the bench. We also saw Luzo was very, very good as well, £9 million rated. We saw Jack Vadzi as well, the Georgian, Tom Ince and Rejovic, the new signing, coming on, and he even had the opportunity to put the ball in the back as well. As for Rovers, we had Ainsley Pears still at number 1, and my oh my, he defied logic and some of the saves he did. We were, of course, a little bit lucky with, of course, the woodwork, twice denying Watford equalising, if not game-winning goals themselves. But Pears, phenomenal, and on paper right here, right now, will remain number 1 heading into the international break. I think he'll have a day off against Harrogate this coming midweek. I think we will get to see the Swede in action, but the Pears will probably have a day off, and he's bloody earned it after being very busy. Hyam at the back there. We had Carter alongside him, Britton and Costello, Travis, Wharton, Hedges, Dolan, Smodic and Leonard. Babyface up there, 19 years of age. And of course, granddad himself, the goal scorer, Ryan Hedges, with the only goal. No John Buckley anywhere near this team. And of course, the under-21s were successful in action as well. 4-1 winners over West Brom, or not West Brom, I can't remember. Is it West Brom? It could be West Brom. But no, it wasn't West Brom. Leicester, that's right. 4-1 winners, and John Buckley nowhere near that team either. Of course, the bench, we did see Scotty Wharton come on as Rovers tried to seal at the back. Young Jake Garrett as well coming on, as well as Andy Moran with his debut. It looked pretty lively as well. Sam Gallagher. No Mackenday, no Bloxham. Gamble or Tronstad, but we scraped away with a win, and I'll take that all day bloody long. So credit where credit's due. The defensive, some of the blocks that were put on the line there by Hyam, Carter, the back line, it was just kitchen sink job at some stage. And Rovers held firm to make sure we went away with something. Even at 1-0, I was optimistic for a point, and let alone the 3 points. So great response from Rovers, and of course football is like this. Sometimes you get the rub of the green. Of course, this was always going to be one of the most tricky away games, and to think that we not only came out of this without a loss, we came out away with a big fat win. So I'm over the moon about that one, and I'm looking forward to seeing the next one, of course. And a quick recap of the performances so far, as you can see in this overview here. Man of the match is a toss-up. Ryan Hedges got an 8. Asperilla got 8.1, causing all kinds of problems. So a toss-up, you would imagine, between the two, but because of the winning factor and what a goal it was, surely you got to give it Ryan Hedges. I think he has been confirmed as man of the match from Sky. Watford with an average of 7.01, Rovers with an average of 7. And of course, these were the star 10, the 10 players that were the best on the business. Hurt there with a 7.2. Of course, then Adam Wharton, creative in midfield, Basharoo, Porteous Carter, Pears, Dominic Hyam, Hedges, so we've got 3, 4, 5, we've got 5 of 5, so that's not too shabby. Asprilla, unlucky to be on the losing side, but we'll take it. We'll take it all day long. 1-0 win in the bank. And of course, that gives us back on our first away win of the season there. So we've nearly got the collector's set. We've got a draw, we've got a couple of wins, and we've got a defeat so far this season. Quick look at the heat maps then, shall we, for this match. Of course, Watford were forever on the ball. Rovers just taking the chances when we had them in our counter-attacking style there, preferring the right-hand side. And as you can see, Ryan Hedges burning up and down that touchline there. And of course, one of those magical runs resulted in a goal, of course. My take is a very, very positive one, of course. Did not expect anything out of this game. If I could have squeezed something out of it, it would have been a draw, and I'm just over the moon for me and for Rovers to get just that. But what about the thoughts and prayers and wisdom? That is from JDT. Here's his thoughts about the match and the result.
Jon, very hard-earned win on the road at Watford today. What was your take on the performance?
No, I'm delighted with the result and the performance. We knew up front, coming to Watford with those quality players they have, it could be difficult to dominate the game on the ball. Normally I want to dominate the game, so I choose for a great organisation with a high discipline, and you saw all my boys working hard. I think we're defending really, really well. When you can keep Watford away from goal like we did, keep a clean sheet, and only, I think there's 3 shots on target, then the team have done a lot of good things. Those transition moments were key to the game. I think we had 5, 6 good moments in the first half where actually the quality in our passing and decision making was not good. So I was actually disappointed that we were not leading 2-3-0 by half time, because that was really some key moment. Spoke about those moments in the second half. We scored a goal for one of those moments. We probably could have scored a couple of more goals, but the resilience and the attitude and the discipline was excellent for the players. Really, really good game. And a clean sheet in a way. It's great to hear our fans as well. There's a sadly story, of course. One passed away. Matt passed away, but the gestures in the 30 minutes was great.
Yeah, tell us a bit about that. There was a tribute from the players before the game as well, and the home fans also kind of joined in as well, which was nice to see.
It was great to see, and Trav with the assist of Matt as well. And in the 30 minutes, there was a good moment, in of course in a difficult situation. But I think everybody handled that. The Watford supporter and fans, and of course the Rovers were excellent today again. Almost 1,000 have travelled on a Sunday to London.
Yeah, I know we've been very pleased that they've made the journey. Not the easiest kick-off time for them to come down for this. And they've seen a clean sheet as well. How pleased are you with that clean sheet today?
No, but I think the performance was good. It was extremely good. If you look at the players they have. I don't want to talk about budget, but it's probably 18 to 20 clubs with a bigger budget than we have. So we knew they had good players, but they did really, really well in defending. Disappointed that we don't take those transition moments because there was a lot of space to play football. Normally we play a dominant game with the ball and be extremely front-footed without the ball.
Alrighty then, what about the fans on the social media? Well, let's have a little look, of course. Yes, indeed. James Marsh said, perfectly executed game plan, but more importantly, that was for Matt. That's right, if you didn't know, Rovers community suffering a loss with a youngster there, 30 years of age. Passing away this week, actually yesterday, Saturday, so grim times there, and big win with Matt Silato's in his honour. We are the Rovers. The game plan was executed impeccable precision, a great smash and grab victory in a way, but that doesn't give due credit to an exceptional defensive performance, which limited them to a few good chances. Adam Wharton is a different gravy. Should be playing a top 4 Premier League side. Yeah, maybe. He was good, but there was a couple of little mistakes there by Adam Wharton in the match, I felt. But of course, he was phenomenal in midfield and very, very great. Just what we need. We need that creative driving force, but also somebody who is passionate about the club and will fight tooth and nail for each and every ball. So that's what we get out of him. Will we get that out of him at a Crystal Palace or an Everton? I think we'll get that, but I still think he needs a full first season in the Championship to really, if we're going to get the big bang for the buck that we want, I think we need to see that. Carl Wicks, an incredible performance against one of the best teams in the division. Huge win, amazing goal, defensive masterclass, and Piers proving that he can keep his place in between sticks. I love this club. Sonny said, great defensive showing that. Thought both Whartons were class and Hedges was unreal. Royal Farrell said that was an astounding performance from the lads. Imagine how good we could be if we actually backed the most talented manager we've had in ages. Agreed. John Robinson says, Hedges class, Hyam and Carter class pairs. Great save, and Travis covered every blade of grass on that pitch. Sully Patel said, get in as Moran looks like a top loan signing, already has done more than what Dolan has done all year. Meanwhile, Jad Hamasan, get in there, what a gutsy performance against a side with arguably better set of players. Well done. Rovers' latest brilliant win by Rovers today. Game plan worked perfectly and topped off with a bit of class from Hedges. Rovers under 21s also beating Leicester 4-1. And of course, yes, a lot of credits and comments towards Matt Silato there. Of course, a very, very important part of the fixtures or the furniture for Rovers. A big part of the Ewood community and experience. So that wins for him. That's what I would say. A quick look at the round of the grounds. Of course, this past weekend, a lot of games, of course, we were the final game. We were with a cherry on top there. But it all kicked off at Hull and Bristol City. 1-1 it was in the end. Leicester kept up their 100% record, 2-1 win over Rotherham. Huddersfield got spanked 4-0 by Norwich. They look like the team to avoid. West Brom made Middlesbrough look absolutely foolish. 4-2 win in the end. Carrick still looking for his first win. Ipswich's unbeaten run, 100% success rate has come to a crashing halt. And 7-0 thriller against Leeds United. Birmingham 2-1 winners over Plymouth, who are our next opponents, of course. Millwall 1-1 winners over Stoke. Cardiff 2-1 win over Sheffield Wednesday. Coventry 0, Sunderland 0 in the Tony Mowbray derby. Then we got Southampton 2-1 winners over QPR. Preston 2-1 win over Swansea. But the game and the result of the day of the weekend was, of course, Watford 0, Blackburn Rovers 1. This is what the table looks like right here, right now. Rovers sitting in ninth. And I think we're content with that right now. And again, transfer window, it closes this week. It's stick or twist really for the board, and we'll talk about that in a second here. But of course, Watford are in 15th, but it's a win away from leapfrogging us and going up as high as 7th. So it is still very, very tight. But question marks may be being raised with Borough, Huddersfield and Sheffield Wednesday at the moment. But that's, of course, we'll see how it all pans out. In the next game, of course, the final game before the international break, Sunderland take on Southampton. Early door kickoff, that's on Saturday. We have Swansea against Bristol City, Birmingham against Millwall in the Gary Rowett derby there. Ipswich against Cardiff, Rotherham against Norwich, Coventry against Watford, Leeds United against Sheffield Wednesday, Plymouth. They host Blackburn Rovers, a difficult away day for Rovers, Leicester City, Hull, Stoke City, Preston, Middlesbrough, QPR, and West Brom against Huddersfield. That, my friends, completes the pack. But yes, stick or twist with the Rovers board right now. Do we, this will be a telling week for Rovers in what we are or where we rank in the Venky's priorities here. They and Rovers, we're talking about the administrating side of Rovers, screwed up the transfer window last time around. We had in our sights a player that we were quoted at spending £10 million on if we were to seal promotion to the Premier League, in Lewis O'Brien. That deal was ready, primed, but screwed up monumentally by the Blackburn Rovers administration. And now, with JDT being very, very vocal about where we are in the grand scheme of things, players-wise, depth-wise, we are very, very threadbare. We are playing a 19-year-old up top. So if Venky's have any dreams, any aspirations to go one better and make it into the playoffs, if Steve Waggett has any aspirations to rectifying the wrong that was January and the Lewis O'Brien fax machine disaster class, this should be now. This should be top priority from now, if not Monday morning. I'll give you overnight. Bask in the success of JDT, bask in the success of Ryan Hedges' wonder goal. But wake up tomorrow morning, get your thumb out your arses, and you Venkies, get your heads out of the game, get your asses over to Ewood Park. Make sure you go out of your way to be there. If you got to vet every move, be awake, be conscious, be present in the here and now, and let's not do a repeat fiasco of that January mess. You owe the Rovers faithful. We're the ones, and I say we as a community, are paying to buy the shirts, the badge, putting money back in the coffers of Venky's, because that's where the money is going. You owe us the shambles that was the January transfer window. You have let talent such as Bradley Dack, Brereton Diaz, and Ayala leave the club for absolutely nothing. You have now given us these youngsters who, of course, are doing absolutely everything to drive this club further forward. But they need backing. JDT, the most exciting coach we've had in a long time. And we're talking a long time. This is we're talking pre-Sam Allardyce. And that's a big statement. This is the best manager you've had or coach you've had in your era. And you're not backing the guy. He's pleading with you. We're pleading with you. Back the bloody... If you have to somehow move shit around. Be present, be conscious. Get somebody, a representative that's the guy who will sign off on everything. Get him in this week to secure the business and get us the signings that we need. We need a striker. We need a centre-back. We probably need 2 or 3 other people, if we're completely honest with you. And let's get this team back where it belongs. I'm not saying it's the here and now, but you need to right the wrong that we did in January. And when I say we, I mean you. You screwed us up, screwed us over, transfer window shambles, fiasco, and of course you costed a potential really good player. You bring in Greg Broughton to do just this, to get players through the door. And of course a player of Lewis O'Brien's quality, who's now Leeds are sniffing around for him. All the big boys want, and we had the potential to bring him in, and it got all screwed up. So do us a favour. We were a Premier League club when you bought us. You made that haphazard decisions of what you did. This is the best position we've been in a long time in your ownership. Now is the time to really pounce and go for it. If you are watching this, or if anybody connected with Venky's is watching this, feel my pain here, guys. This is your chance to right the wrongs. Back your manager. Bloody get the players through the door and just watch. We've got the players, the fight is there, the teamwork is there, everyone's playing for each other. We were the second best today, but of course we were there as a unit defensively, and of course ready to do what we want for the coach. And let's just do this. Let's drive forward, be positive. Be present, be in the here and now, and do not fuck this up. That's all I'm telling you right now. Get this transfer window right. You've got 5 days probably to get it right. Get the right players in, get them in quick. Don't fuck about. Don't be there with your thumb up your ass. Do this now. Anyway, until then, I'm out.